Here we are, day off at the Isle of Man TT races, and what better place to be, eh?
Than Smivey's nan's garage.
Cheers, Smivey's mum, nan's garage. Why are we here though?
We're in here because the boys are here to film Between the Hedges. If you haven't seen Between the Hedges, you've got to find it. It was absolutely banging. Out last January, I think. The new series will be out soon, and it'll all be shot in here.
It's not going to be shot in here. There is no way they can turn whatever this is, this treasure trove of dust, rags. It's a typical man's garage, isn't it? I don't think Smivey's nan's ever set foot in this place.
I wonder what Smivey's nan's like when she gets on the YZ125.
I'm sure she's an absolute goer on it. Anyway, somehow these boys are going to turn this into a fantastic studio to interview you and a couple of other special guests. And do you know what? Without brown-nosing the boys who are sat behind the cameras right now, the Between the Hedges series has been absolutely phenomenal, available on YouTube. Make sure you go and check it out, available on TT Plus as well. Boothy, I'm going to leave you to it while these boys change this thing into God knows what, and I'll catch you on the flip side.
See you soon, Pritch.
Enjoy it, mate.
That's it, we're all set up. That didn't take the lads very long. They've turned Smivey's nan's garage into a Between the Hedges studio, so they're going to grill me for probably the next hour, ask me all the same questions as they've asked all the other guys that have been in here. I think they've had pretty much all the TT races, certainly from the top 20 in here, so let's get Between the Hedges. Well, that's me finished my Between the Hedges interview. I feel like I've just poured my heart out a little bit in front of this camera. So, time to go back up to the grandstand. We'll go and find Pritch, go and see who he's got for us to talk to.
All right, here we are in a part of the paddock that I've actually never been down. So we're next to all the suspension, we're next to Metzler, and right outside the Cringle's garage. Ryan, before we get into the TT, in fact, we might not even touch on the TT, motocross. That's our background, that's where we come from. So why did we end up taking up road racing?
Don't know really, just it's always been of an interest, and when my dad bring a big H through the ranks, he's always had his foot in the door with the road racing, but I went right through the motocross as a kid, going to British level and stuff, and I did turn to road racing back in '09, I think. I'd done the Aprilia 125, that Super Teen series, and I was, honest answer, I was absolutely useless at it. So I soon went straight back to my motocross bike, but then decided in 2013 again I'd want to go, and here we are. This is my 10th year at it now, and I'm loving it.
10 years, bloody hell. So how old were you when you first went there, 2009? On that Super Teen, sorry.
Oh, now you're asking me. What are we now? 29? 9.
You were young?
I was young, yeah.
Teenager?
I must have been 13, 14, right, I guess. Yeah. I was that small, I couldn't even reach the handlebars on the thing.
So how hard is it to start a road racing career based on the Isle of Man?
Yeah, it is hard because at the time I struggled to even race at a local circuit with my age and the classes they had and stuff. It was hard, but I was fortunate that my cousin started doing the Triumph Challenge series at the time, and that ran alongside the Aprilia series, so it sort of worked in. So when we went away, the truck was just rammed with 3 bikes, 2 for him, 1 for me, and I was just the cast off in the awning basically. I was just there having fun, and they were there trying to be a bit serious.
That's a nice cost-effective way of doing it though, right?
Yeah, and them things there cost you buttons, they don't go through tyres. Yeah. You basically just got to buy a bit of 2-stroke oil and petrol, and away you go.
When it drops, kick it straight and off you go again.
Exactly, yeah, you're not going fast enough to damage it.
So, you're born on the island, you're from the island, so you can't get away from the TT. It's not like you're on the mainland and the TT is kind of this weird thing that other people do. It's almost in your blood. If you're born here and you have any form of fandom of any motorsport, you love the TT, you've grown up around the TT, you watch the TT, but you didn't get into it straight away. It wasn't the path that you were going to take straight away, was it?
No, and I probably did try and stay away from it for a while, but when the time was right, I always knew I was coming and have a go, and it's taken me 10 years to feel like the time's right to come and have a go, but now I've come and had a go. I said after the first night of practice, I said to the boys, this is a drug that I shouldn't have taken. Yeah, it's mental.
I think you speak to every single rider that's done the TT, and they probably say the same. It's all good and well. It's what, like I said to you earlier on the podcast, it's all good and well being there, seeing it, being part of it, but not actually taking part. You can walk away from it, and you know you'll see it next year, but you kind of get over it. But when you've been down Bray Hill, flat out, when you've been over Aggo's Leap, when you've done the whole course on a bike that's just a beast to wrestle around, that's it. You're stuck now for life, mate.
Yeah, it's looking that way. I mean, we started off, I was enjoying it, yeah, but I was not on the fence. I was enjoying it enough to keep wanting to go back out, but I was just like, oh, will I be back? I don't know, but it clicked yesterday. And
Yeah.
you know, the smile you get off jumps and stuff like that, it's just, you get back to your own, you sit down and people's tagged you in a load of stuff, and you open your phone up, and as soon as you start seeing the off jumps, like it's just, you just start smiling again. It's like, I love it.
Mate, for 2 weeks of your life, and probably a few before and a few after, you're a rock star, aren't you?
No, I'm just a local ground worker, if you want to put it that way. I'm no rock star. I'm shoved in the corner, as you just said, out the way, and enjoying it.
But hey, listen, whether it's Peter Hickman, John McGuinness, Jamie or Ryan Cringle, everyone that stood there at the side of the road respect and kind of get what you guys are doing. So it doesn't matter whether you're first or last. They love each and every one of those people that can go out and do that, because there's not many people that can go out and do it.
Yeah, no, it is a big commitment, and you know, a lot goes into it, and especially what we've had go wrong this week. And as we can see now, the boys are still working. It's been a very challenging week for me and my brother. It's not been how we wanted it. It's not been plain sailing. It's now Monday of race week, and I've still only completed 6 laps on my super stock bike. It's been testing, but you know, we'll get there.
As they all say, that is the TT. And you'll either leave the TT happy with your performance and eager to come back because you've done well and you know you can go faster, or you'll go, I didn't really fulfill my potential, I'm going to have to come back. So either way, you're going to be coming back. But the question I want to know is, and I said this to you when we started, like, how on earth do you afford all this? We see the teams down the other end, they've got the big awnings, the big trucks, and you can see where the money comes from in terms of sponsorship. But for you boys, how do you afford to get all this going?
So we've been lucky enough that through family businesses that we've had a good run, and the foundations are there. So once the foundation's there, that's the biggest thing. But it used to be the biggest thing. Nowadays the tyre increases and that have gone that much, even down to petrol prices. You know, everything has tripled, if not more, from what it was a few years ago. And basically, we live for this. So I work a week, and my week's wages just goes back into buying a set of tyres and some fuel for my bike. It's what I want to do, you know. It's what I know, it's what I've been brought up doing, it's what I love, and I don't want to do anything else, you know. I'll give what it takes to do it, and I'll come out the other side and worry about the problems then.
It's a lifestyle, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's something I'll never want to change. It's, like I said, 29 now, and I started motocrossing. I was back on a bike, I was back on a quad, I think at 3 years old, and then we cheated the system when we were young, and you can't start racing until you're 6, so we actually changed my date of birth on a day licence every day, and said that I was 6 for a year until I was 6. Now I ended up being the same age the next year. So every weekend, like when I look at the local calendar and there's not something on, I'm lost. I know I get to spend some family time with my son and stuff, but it's not the same. You just want to get. I like to be on a bike at least once a week, just to have me time as well, basically, and I love it.
That's what you're saying. The only reason you like going out on your bike is to get away from this lot.
It's always chaos, and someone says 6 laps, and I said I'm yet to do 6 laps. I said that is going to be tough, but you know, it's easier than listening to them bend your ear off for another 2 hours.
So talking to family, your brother was here last year as a newcomer. Has he helped you speed up your newcomer's process by giving you all the information you need?
It's been weird really, because yeah, Jamie was a newcomer last year, but we haven't done much together. I've been very fortunate with friends and our local here, if you want to say, Connor. He's been really good and helpful with me. He's took me on a lap. But when I've been doing this, I've been involving Jamie to come with me as well. And Jamie 100% has given me pointers on what to do and where. But we've sort of tried to involve our laps with another experienced rider, so we're both getting knowledge, because as we say, 3 to 5 years learning the place. Jamie's only
As
1
he's
year
still
in, you know,
learning it, yeah.
he's still learning as much as I am, so it's so much, you know, it's good to have someone like Connor with 10 plus years experience to give that information back to us.
Yeah, and being local on the island, at any point, day or night, 365 days a year, you can jump in the car, jump on a motorbike and go and take a lap in and just refresh yourself with that.
Yeah, that's it. It's just, I was originally going to come, I think, when I was 22, 23, and I don't know, something it just didn't fall into place, so it wasn't meant to be. And even back then, I was doing lap after lap in a car, and I was comfortable with the place then. But then, before I started practice this last Monday there, I had so much doubt in my head that I didn't know enough of what I needed to know. But I don't know if that's just because a rider has much doubt. It's just like of course Lee in the 13th, where it's all completely blind and everyone's saying you've got to miss the first apex to come back to the last one. And I was like, don't really fancy coming in somewhere 100 plus mile an hour and not knowing I'm going to see where I'm going. But after I'd done that newcomer's lap of Milky, I thought, I feel at home here. You know, I wasn't, no way at all I wasn't cocky with what I knew, but I was like, it feels good. And I was like, okay, I'm good to go here. Just, it's a good base point, let's learn from here now.
And then before we go, what will you boys be happy with come the end of the senior?
A pint and a beer tent, but as long as me and Jamie are both stood there with a smile, and I don't know, it's hard to say because I've been out in the Supersport race, I've done 120 out of 600 as a newcomer, which I guess is pretty good, a lot of people will be impressed with, but everyone wants more. No matter what you do, you want more, and I was happy with it, but I wasn't like ecstatic. But I'm not a person that gets carried away with myself. I'm always down to earth. Like yesterday before the Superbike race started, I think we had the last 15-minute buzzer and I was still sat in this Jeremy shorts and t-shirt.
Yeah, I saw you rock up late.
Yeah, the boys were actually setting off as I was still walking up, so
you didn't have your helmet on.
Yeah, it was I just chilled out and take it as it comes.
The like Island Man version of Michael Dunlop.
This place here is a joke. I don't think anyone we speak to or deal with or bike shop in the UK, like, they go mad. How do you boys process over there? Like, how can it take you so long to get something sent to me or this or that? It's just a different way of living. Everything's just so chilled out. We go to the shops, the keys stay in the ignitions of our cars, our vans, nothing gets locked. We leave the house every day, it doesn't get locked. I think it's the best place in the world to live, and I can honestly say I'll never leave this place. I love it.
Island life, right, let's leave that there. Well, best of luck for the rest of the week, mate.
Thank you.
Good luck. From a 90-year-old's garage, they've managed to turn it into this. This is wonderful. I don't know how they've done it.
How have they possibly turned Smivey's nan's garage into this?
We're of course in the. This is the live TV studio. This is where they broadcast all the studio shots from TT Plus.
Yeah, we've hijacked.
Shh! Don't tell them.
We've hijacked Greenlight's garage. It's nice, isn't it?
It's beautiful. It's red hot though.
It's absolute bacon, yeah.
Talking of stuff being red hot. What about tomorrow? The action is going to be fierce.
Yeah.
All right. Is
it?
Yeah,
it will. It's just. It's going to be more of the same ballistic pace, isn't it? It just keeps getting faster and faster and faster.
But I think it's going to be even more so because although we've got two races, we've only got 3 laps in each.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be more. What's the word? Frenetic.
Frenetic, yeah. From the get-go.
Yeah.
And this is going to play into the hands of Michael and Dean, and potentially not Pete, because like he said, he struggles to get going in the morning. What do you think we'll see?
I think we'll see Dean's always really fast out the blocks, isn't he? I wouldn't be surprised if halfway on the first lap, Dean's going to be in the lead. But Dunlop's just a plodder, isn't he? He just plods on and just doesn't stop plodding. So, you know, I've said it before, and unfortunately I'm going to say it again. Michael Dunlop is just on fire, and I can't bet against him. You know, if I'm going to put money on anyone for tomorrow's win, it's got to be Michael Dunlop.
Super twins, though, could be a completely different kettle of fish, as we say up north.
Could well be, yeah.
I mean, where do we even go with that?
What I like about the Super Twins is there are a lot of the other lads, like we've talked about Jamie Coward, who's having an absolutely stonking TT so far.
Yeah, if he takes that confidence into that.
Yeah.
Oof.
He's been on the podiums in Super Twins already. I can see him on that step again. Maybe can he make it onto the top step? Anything can happen at the Isle of Man TT races.
Ellie Goulding sang a song about that once. Anything can happen.
Did she?
Yeah, she did. And you're right. Anything can happen. And with the Super Twins, reliability always comes in. Peter Hickman has not completed one lap. There's a couple of others. I was talking to Ryan Cringle earlier. I think Jamie's going out in the Super Twin warm-up in the morning. Pete's going out, and there's another rider, forgive me, I can't remember who it was. If they can get through a lap, because they haven't qualified yet, I believe they can take to the start line.
Okay.
But they've got to get through that warm-up lap. If they don't, then they don't race tomorrow.
So this harks back to the fact that you need to qualify for any of the races at the TT. They need to do 2 laps on each of the bikes that they want to ride, and one of them laps has got to be within 112.5% of the 3rd fastest rider.
Right. There's a lot going on there, isn't there?
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
There might be some bending of the rules, dispensation for certain people if they're going to let them in after a lap tomorrow.
But that's the thing, it all comes down to safety, reliability. If a bike hasn't made it round 1 lap, what makes you think it's going to do 3 laps round here? So
Exactly.
Yeah, you could throw 1,000 numbers up in the air and you get a different result, and that could be exactly the same with the Super Twins tomorrow. Hey, I tell you one thing, I'm looking forward to seeing. It was the junior Manx GP winner from last year, Francesco Curenga. He's out in the Super Twins. It'll be interesting to see how he goes, and also Stefano Bonetti always goes pretty well in the smaller classes.
He does, yeah.
So again, it just could be anyone's. I'm sick of sitting here chatting to you lot, saying it could be him, it could be him, it could be him, it could be him, because until it's happened, we just don't know.
No, I can't wait to find out.
Shall we just go and have a beer and then wait for the racing to begin?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Boothy. Piam.
Ow.
For all the latest news and features, make sure you head over to iomttraces.com, and for all the socials, it's at
TT Races Official.
Nice. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave us as many comments as you can down below, because Boothy loves to read them.
See you tomorrow.